Why wine? Why wine? The effects of wine tariffs on the U.S. consumers and the wine industry, a significant milestone for Halter Ranch, and we welcome our AI overlords, and a brand new segment, Buy It Now. All that and more on this episode of This Week Uncorked. Why? Hey, hello everybody, and welcome to episode 36 of This Week Uncorked for Monday, March 24th, 2025. I'm Brett Martin from Cork and Journey. That's your number one source for corkage fees, winery reviews, wine reviews, restaurant reviews, and some other stuff that's in there. Anyway, with that, let's get right on into this week's news. All right, we're going to start off with the Napa Valley Vintners Association has launched the Why Wine Project. They actually launched it last year, but now they've got a new initiative, and it's basically why you should drink wine. You probably figured that out. It's a campaign movement dedicated to celebrating the authentic story of wine. And if you win, you get a signed copy of Karen McNeil's The Wine Bible. Well, how do you enter? So I guess I should have said this. They're having a contest. And so if you want to enter, you head over to their website. And here's what they say. They want to hear your story. What is it about wine? Why do people care about it? The honest answer is it's different for everybody. That's why we all want to hear the why wine story. You can join the sharing by making a video of why you got into wine. Why does wine matter to you? What is it about wine that you like? What is it about wine that pulls you in? Yes, all you have to do is make a quick video sharing your why wine story, and you use the hashtag why wine, and then you download the why wine logo, add it to your video, share it on social media using the why wine hashtag and at Napa Vintners. And if you do that and they look at it and they go, wow, that's great. I understand. I want to drink wine now. Then you might get a signed copy of the Wine Bible. So there you go. Moving right along with the news, wine tariffs, we talk about this a lot, and Trump has said he's going to potentially throw a 200% tariff on all EU wines that are coming into the U.S. And W. Blake Gray has written about this in depth over at Wine Searcher. And so here's what he says. In theory, the U.S. tariff would triple the price of EU wines. A $25 Chianti Classico would now cost $75. In practice, it would probably mean an immediate near halt to the sale of most EU wines and spirits in the U.S. Then he ends the article by saying, I want to write something here. I'm proud to be an American. And I love U.S. wine, but I also never feel more international than when I drink wine. For $25, I can take a visit in a glass to Tuscany or the Rhone Valley or Patagonia. U.S. wines are great, but they don't taste like wines made in those places. Wine is not like steel. It's not completely interchangeable. I have to agree 100%. We've been covering this a lot. So far, these tariffs have not gone into effect. So there's all kinds of we don't know as of me reporting this, nothing has happened yet. But if it does happen, it's going to be just absolute chaos for those of us who love wine, because those are where a lot of your value wines are. And we'll talk about this more a little bit later in the show. Before we do, quick shout out to our friends over at SOMM TV. SOMM TV, we've talked about it before. Basically, it's a TV channel, if you will. It's an app. It's on your Roku. It's on your Apple TV. It's on everything. And it covers everything that you would want to know about wine. It's educational. It's got shows on regions, blind tastings, you name it. It is all over there at SOMM TV. Pretty much new content put up every week. They've also got full feature-length movies. It's created by Jason Wise. He's the guy that did the movie SOMM, and there are 4 SOMM movies, so you can go check out all 4 of those SOMM movies and a bunch of other movies on there. Bottle Shock's on there. They've got watch-throughs with the cast on some of these movies. Anyway, an absolute great little channel, and for $3.49, that's the discount you get if you use the link down below. $3.49 a month, you too could be enjoying SOMM TV. And we'll throw a quick shout out to Rex Pickett over at rexpickettbooks.com. He's the author of Sideways. And if you use the code CORK10, you will get 10% off your entire purchase over there. And he will autograph the books for you as well. And by the way, I've got questions about this. These are not sponsors. These are just friends of the show. We get paid nothing. These just things I think you should know about. I really like these guys. I want to support them. Both Rex and Jason are just fantastic people, and I think they do a lot for the wine community. So that's the only reason I drop these plugs in here at all. There's no monetary incentive for me to do so other than I like them. All right, moving on with the news then. So Halter Ranch Estate has received the Regenerative Organic Certified status as they celebrate 25 years. We're big fans of Paso Robles, California location of this. They've also got one in Texas. They bought a winery down in Temecula as well. We have gone to all of them. The one in Temecula is interesting. They're actually starting to make some decent wines, but it's kind of a small little tasting room in the vineyards there. But their Paso Robles is, that's their biggie. It's a massive, massive, massive estate, but it is just an absolutely beautiful state-of-the-art winery. And they're doing everything they can to make it organic and regenerative. And they've just been going crazy on it. And it's well worth the visit. So from the press release, moving into its 25th year in business, Halter Ranch is thrilled to announce the original Paso Robles Estate Vineyard has achieved Regenerative Organic Certified status. That's ROC. Halter Ranch is the second Paso Robles vineyard operation in the Adelaida district to achieve this status behind pioneering neighbors Topless Creek. And then long before achieving the ROC status, Halter Ranch Estate Vineyard was deeply rooted in sustainable and organic vineyard practices, previously recognized as a model SIP, Sustainability and Practice Certified winery for over a decade. Halter Ranch has consistently farmed with sustainability at its core. Before advancing its regenerative farming program and receiving ROC status, Halter Ranch first transitioned toward organic certification. And in 2023, Halter Ranch Vineyard earned the organic certification from the California Certified Organic Farmers. So there you go. Congratulations to Halter Ranch. They deserve it. I mean, they've got solar out there. They're organically farming, and they're making really, really, really good wines. Just the whole place. It's a lovely tour. If you can, go kind of sign up for the cave tour and winery tour when you do your tasting there. It's well worth it. They've got a beautiful cave complex. The winery tour is nice. It's owned by a billionaire, and I think he's from Germany, maybe. I might have that wrong. But anyway, a European billionaire owns it, and he's got fantastic outdoor artwork all over the place. It's just beautiful. It's not your little down-home, sit-down tasting room, which we love as well. But man, if you want to go to kind of one of the nicer wineries you can in Paso Robles, drop into Halter Ranch. Congratulations to them. And then Jancis Robinson, yes, I pronounced it right this time, so don't write to me. Jancis Robinson has got an article, Chile, now a fine wine producer. So, in my interesting take on this, so we're talking about EU wine tariffs, which would really just destroy the really nice and expensive wines from Italy and Spain and even some from France. If that goes into effect, that's going to be gone. But South America is not part of this. So if those go into effect, perhaps Chile and Argentina will fill that void. Anyway, Jancis has a nice write-up about the quality coming out of Chile. And she says, while Americans have tended to view wines from Chile as necessarily cheap and cheerful, although this may be changing since Wine Spectator chose Don Melchor 2021 as his wine of the year last year. Chile has long had numerous well-informed champions here in the UK. One of the first was Master of Wine Peter Richards, who now hosts the popular podcast Wine Blast with his wife, fellow Master of Wine, Susie Berry. And they did a big old tasting of a bunch of wines that they hosted, and evidently everybody was impressed all the way around. I haven't tried this yet, but I went and I looked in the cellar and I said, what do I have from Chile? Well, all I have is this. Gloop. It is a Kerrigan, and it was $20. And so I think I'll crack it tonight. We'll do a review. It's funny, we don't have any reviews on Cork and Journey of wines from Chile. and this was the only one in my cellar. So I'm going to go out and try some, and I'd love to hear it if you think they're fantastic. I know I've had them before, though, and I've always kind of liked them. So anyway, all right, moving on. Not a source we normally quote, but phys.org, which is a physics website. AI made its way to vineyards. Here's how the technology is helping make your wine. And basically, yes, AI is everywhere. I didn't know it had kind of moved into the wine industry, but evidently it's no exception. And so this is a pretty nice in-depth piece on how AI is kind of weaving its way through every aspects of the business. Long article. I'll just cover a couple highlights here. As AI continues to grow, experts say that the wine industry is proof that businesses can integrate the technology efficiently to supplement labor without displacing the workforce. New agricultural tech like AI can help farmers cut back on waste and run more efficient, sustainable vineyards by monitoring water use and helping determine when and where to use products like fertilizers or pest control. AI-backed tractors and irrigation systems, farmers say, can minimize water use by analyzing soil and vines, while also helping farmers to manage acres of vineyards by providing more accurate data on the health of a crop or what the season's yields will be. Other facets of the wine industry have also started adopting the tech, from using generative AI to create custom wine labels to turning ChatGPT to develop, label, and price the entire bottle. Okay, so most of this, other than the little, hey, ChatGPT, help me create a wine label and maybe write some marketing material, which is really a large language model kind of AI. The rest of it looks more like data analytics to me. But it's got AI in it, so it's a headline. But interesting to see this starting to be adapted by the wine industry. A lot of them are very not up on tech. So I think for a lot of farmers, and especially a lot of larger operations as well as smaller operations, I think this will help them tremendously. And with that, let's move right on into our wine and winery of the week. All right, as you may know, a few weeks ago we did a special episode on Valle de Guadalupe, and in doing that, we covered a bunch of different wineries and wines and restaurants that we had been to. A lot of them I kind of focused on, we'd actually already done reviews on over on Cork and Journey, but as we started going through, we realized there were several that we'd missed. So we're kind of catching up on a lot of that. So I'm going to go for the next couple of weeks. You'll see some kind of heavy Valle de Guadalupe wineries and wines in here as we kind of clear those out from our last visit there. So this one's Cava Marcial in Valle de Guadalupe. Guadalupe. I say it Guadalupe half the time. I don't know why. Anyway, Jorge Maciel's, this guy is just, he's doing some really, really nice stuff up there. He makes really decent wines. We rated his wines. They're in the high 80s, kind of low 90s on his wines, but they're just decent, good stuff. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful place to visit. It seems like every time I talk about this, I was watching the old review. It's like, yes, you go up a dirt road for quite a while. You wind up a hill. Well, it's the same thing with Cabo Marcial. Anyway, worth the visit. So if you're up there, add that one into your list and you will enjoy it. And while we're at that, I wanted to talk about one of his wines, which is the 2014 Cabo Marcial Petite Sirah Perigeo. We rated 89 points. I had it at $45. That doesn't seem right. It should seem to me like it should be a little cheaper than that. But he aged this for 24 months in French oak barrels. Really brings out some chocolate and vanilla in this wine. It's a really decent wine. He also has one which we haven't tried, which is his Apogeo. And this is Nebbiolo, 100% Nebbiolo. I said it's $40 on the back, so maybe the other one was $45. But I'm gonna crack this one open, see how it rates as well. It's 2015, which is interesting. So a lot of these guys, they really age themselves a long time. They keep it in bottle a long time before they release it. Anyway, we're adding that. So we've got two things. You've got the video, but you've also got on Cork and Journey our guide to Valle de Guadalupe. And we're constantly updating it and constantly changing it. So if you're planning on heading down there, check that out as well. And with that, let's move on to our restaurant Corkage of the week. Deckman's in El Mogor in Valle de Guadalupe, Mexico. Basically, this is Drew Deckman. He is a Michelin star chef. He's an American. He moved down into the valley and he has become an icon down there and a driving force for basically keeping the valley what it was, making sustainable. They've got water issues just like everybody else does. They've got tourism issues. They've got land issues. And his restaurant sits in the middle of a beautiful vineyard. You can basically do a tasting menu with wine pairings, and it is just absolutely fantastic. As the slides were rolling there and you were seeing it, we didn't order that many bottles of wines. Those were the pairings that came with everything we had. Just exceptionally well done. Great place. I highly, highly, highly recommend it. Kind of talked about this one on the last show a little bit. It's killer and well worth your time. So do yourself a table as a favor when you're down there. Book yourself a table and enjoy. And with that, oh, by the way, no corkage allowed, unfortunately. Now I've got a new segment. Buy it now. So I don't know if I'm going to do this every week or not, but I know, oftentimes we talk about wines here. They're $70, $80, $100, $200, $300, $400 a bottle. We also oftentimes talk about wines in that low $20, $25, $30, $40 range. And I kind of want to focus on those because sometimes, for just a great wine with dinner, oftentimes, you're at home, you don't want to crack an expensive bottle of wine. You want something that's reasonably priced, that's very good, that you can drink. So I was watching some YouTube and I stumbled across Peter Neptune. If you don't know Peter Neptune, he's a master of wine. Search Peter Neptune, master of wine, find his YouTube channel. Tina and I both studied with him for our WSET 1, 2, 3, and French wine scholar. He actually has a school down in Newport Beach, California. We attended hundreds of hours of courses down there with him. He is just a great guy and passionate about wine. And he's one of the few master sommeliers who, if I said master wine, he's a master sommelier. He's one of the few master sommeliers who basically still stays up on everything because all he does is teach. And so he started a YouTube channel, I want to say 4, 5, 6 months ago. It seems to be doing pretty good. And he's doing some interesting things that a lot of guys do, which is let me go through and I'll taste the Costco wines and I'll do this. Well, he was doing one on Trader Joe wines, and he had 3 of them there. And the first one he thought was just okay. And the first one he said, no, he wouldn't buy. And then the second one, he was like, well, this is all right. And then the third one, and just because I know him so well, and I've watched his reaction in the classroom so well, he loved it. And he was like, wow, this is good. This is very good. I'm going to run down and buy a case of that. Well, whenever he says that, I'm like, well, I must check out this wine. So I did. So it is a Jean 22nd Chateauneuf-du-Pape, $19.99 over Trader Joe's. He talked about it. I went in there. They had plenty on the shelves. Did some research on this wine. You can click the link below and read the review. Pretty sure we've identified who the winemaker is on this, or not the winemaker, who the winery is on this anyway. But did more research on it. Reverse Wine Snob gave it a nice review about a year ago. So this 2021's been on the shelves for a little bit. Bavino gave it a 4.1. We tasted it, scored through it, solid 90 points. So right at the precipice on that very good, from good to very good. Picked up 6 bottles, and for $19.99, it is a fantastic bottle of wine. I mean, it's not the best in the world, but my goodness, it's a great Chateauneuf for that price point, and just pleasurable with some nice ribs or a brisket or whatever you plan on drinking with. But I would say this is one. Go out and get it, try it. I think you will like it a lot. Not sure we're going to do this segment every single week, but as I see various things and something comes up and it's a reasonable price and it's available, that's the key. I want it to be something where you can just go buy it. My guess is if I continue this for a while, I'm going to be sending a lot of you over to KermitLynch.com, because Kermit Lynch, this guy, is importing wines from all over the world. Usually it's got some killer ones at exceptional prices, just ridiculous, all in that $20 to $30 range. So, but I'm going to try to hunt around, find hopefully stuff you can go down to Total Wine and get, or ABC, or wherever you live, or, anyway, for the United States, we'll make it that easy. But anyway, that's it. And with that, we're going to wrap up this week's show. I want to thank everybody so much for joining us. As always, we would love it if you would subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Instagram and YouTube and Twitter or X and all of them. Anyway, follow us on all the social media places you go. With that, cheers, everybody. Thank you so much.